Hey team, this is the fourth video, and in this one I just wanted to emphasize the concept of move, pass and move. Basically, if you remember the game or the thing we practice was the ping pong game. So in that game, I'm going to erase all these lines for now. We don't need it in this video. Okay, so in that game, remember the orange cones we set up? We set up orange cones like this, right? I think we had 8 orange cones. And then what we did was, remember, we formed a line right here. Player number 1 ran here, right? Player number 2 came here, and then player number 1 kicked the soccer ball, right? You kick the ball here in this direction, and once you kicked, we asked you to move this way to the next cone. While the ball's rolling to their feet, they get the ball, they kick it. Once they kick the ball to this player who's waiting here at the second cone, this player number 2 here moves, right? Once they get to this cone, player number 1, who's now at the second cone, passes the ball again. As soon as the ball leaves your feet, as soon as you kick it hard enough to get it across to the next cone, you run again, right? To the third cone. While the ball's rolling to the feet of the player number 2, player number 2 passes the ball this way and runs in this direction. So at this point, player number 1 and 2 are at the third cone. The same thing. Player number 1 gets the ball to their feet. You stop it with the inside of your feet, remember? Then you kick it with the inside of your feet to player number 2. As soon as you kick it, you run to the next cone. Once player number 2 gets the ball, you stop it with the what? Yep, with the inside of your feet. And then you kick it and pass it to player number 1, sorry. And as soon as you pass it, what do? Do we just wait there? No, you're right. We make a run and move, right? Player number 2 is here. Player number 1's here on the fourth cone. In their exercise we practiced this week, player number 1 ended up kicking the ball, dribbling or kicking the ball in the goal, or just kicking it from the spot, right? So if you remember this game we played, we called it ping pong because going back and forth like a ping pong ball. But it's the same thing in the soccer field, right? If we look at what we did in the first 3 videos, you recognize the shape that they're sitting in, that the players are standing in? You're correct. It's a triangle. It's not a perfect triangle, but it's still one. So as soon as, let's say the ball's here in red, as soon as player number 1 passes the ball to player number 2, what should they do once they pass the ball to player number 2? Should they just stand there? Or like the previous game, the ping pong game, should they move? You're right, they should move, right? And where should they move? Should they move somewhere here? Or way back there near the goal? No, you're right. They should move towards the opponent, right? Towards the opponent's goal. So player number 1, once you kick the ball to player number 2, you can move, you can try and take the spot of your teammate. And player number 3 should actually keep moving too. So what will happen is player number 1 will be here, player number 3 will be here, moving up the field, right? And player number 2 would have probably moved a little bit. So it's not a perfect shape again, but it is the shape of a triangle of sorts. The last thing I wanted to show you is, remember, a triangle on the soccer field doesn't have to be perfect. You could have, on your opponent's side, you could have player number 1 here, player number 2, player number 3, who might have the ball. right? But this is not a perfect triangle that's shaped like this, right? It's not a perfect triangle like this with equal lines and distances, right? For player number 1, 2, and 3. It's not perfect, which is fine, right? This is more of a triangle, but it has different lengths, right? The distance between the players are different, which is fine. It's still a triangle. So a few takeaways on this video. Number 1, the things we're practicing on the field. I'm really proud of you guys improving your skills with the practices we're doing. And the things we're practicing are meant to help you improve and have fun. And as you can see, what we're practicing with the games like the ping pong game, we can apply it or use it in a real game, right? Where you pass and move, you pass and move, pass and move. And then the second thing I want you to remember from this video is when you're on the soccer field, the shape of the triangle that you're trying to form or trying to be in doesn't have to be perfect. It can be different shapes. You can be like this, right? It looks funny, but player number 1 can be here, player number 2, player number 3 on the soccer field, right? With the ball either here or anywhere else. It doesn't have to be a perfect triangle. So again, looking forward to our game, and good job on all the practices that you guys have done. Hopefully this was helpful in seeing that the things you guys are doing in practice, you guys are doing good, and that it's meant to help you enjoy the game and also develop some of your skills that you can actually use in a real game. And then the 4 videos that I've created today focus more on the tactical side of soccer, which is also quite fun for me, and hopefully it's something that helps you see the game from a different set of eyes. So again, great job, team. Looking forward to our game.